Last week, a seismic purge rocked the gaming world. Steam obliterated over 500 adult-themed games from its platform overnight, and the fallout is explosive. Is this a righteous stain against vile content, or a chilling act of censorship orchestrated by corporate titans like Visa and MasterCard? Today, we're ripping the lid off of this scandal, exposing who's really calling the shots, and what it means for the future of gaming. For those who are unfamiliar, Steam is a leading platform for PC gaming, hosting thousands of titles from blockbuster hits like Red Dead Redemption 2 to indie gems like Schedule 1. While most games are fairly mainstream, Steam also offers an NSFW filter that, when enabled, reveals games with mature or explicit content. These are often visual novels, but some have sparked controversy due to their extreme themes. A few months ago, one such game, No Mercy, was removed from Steam. Its premise involved some deeply disturbing content, including SA within a family, which understandably caused an uproar. An Australian feminist advocacy group called Collective Shout played a key role in getting No Mercy pulled from Steam. Emboldened by this success, the group set its sights on other games. In an open letter to payment processors, Collective Shout claimed to have identified over 500 Steam games with problematic NSFW tags. If you're familiar with Steam's tagging system, you probably know that this research, and since you can't see me, I'm doing air quotes there, likely involved searching for specific tags rather than an in-depth investigation. The group urged payment processors to stop supporting platforms like Steam and itch.io that host such content. Apparently, this pressure worked, as Steam removed the flagged games from their storefront. So is this censorship? Well, yeah, it is. It kind of is, but the issue isn't black and white. Let's be clear about one thing. These games contained extremely offensive things that anybody with 2 brain cells would find absolutely disgusting. However, Steam's decision to allow these games on their platform in the first place reflects its historical permissive approach to game distribution. Them folding underneath this external pressure really does set a bad precedent for the platform. This isn't the first time advocacy groups have targeted video games. Many of you might recall 2014's Gamergate controversy, where figures like Anita Sarkeesian criticized games for their portrayal of women, sparking heated debates. Collective Shout has a similar track record to Feminist Frequency, which Anita Sarkeesian was the head of, having previously campaigned against titles like Detroit Become Human and Grand Theft Auto 5 for their alleged bad portrayals of women. While their concerns about No Mercy and similar games may have merit, their broader approach, which seems to be targeting anything that they really just don't like, raises questions about overreach and whether they are actually trying to remove these games out of the goodness of their own hearts, or if there's something more sinister behind it. Here's the core issue. When Steam removes content, not because they want to, but because they are forced to, from these advocacy groups and payment processors, it hands significant power to these external entities. This could open up the door for more groups to demand removals, potentially targeting games that simply just don't align with their agenda, even if those games are not breaking any rules on the platform they are on. To be clear, and I want to make this like really fucking clear here, I am not defending the content of these games. Many of them are poorly made and outright distasteful, and it's reasonable to question why they were on Steam in the first place. But if Steam chooses to host such content, it should stand by that decision and not cave underneath pressure. Because by doing so, they are creating a slippery slope where any group with enough influence or loud enough voices can dictate what they host and what gets removed. This situation also highlights the growing influence of payment processors like Visa and MasterCard. These companies aren't just facilitating transactions, they're now indirectly shaping what content platforms can host. We've seen this with some, let's just say, adult sites, where they forced these sites to remove certain types of videos. And even in MasterCard's, Visas, and most of these payment processors' terms and conditions, they have a morality clause of sorts that allows them to stop transactions from these sites if those sites do not comply with those conditions. That's a lot of power for an unelected corporation to have. They are telling us what we can and can't spend our money on, even if it is the most degenerate thing on this planet. And it is worth asking where this trend might lead in the future. Where exactly does this stop? So what's the takeaway from all of this? Steam removing these games may seem like a big win for some, especially if you're reading some of the stuff over on X. But the truth is, it really raises questions about creative freedom, platform autonomy, and who gets to decide what's acceptable. Is it these platforms that are hosting content, or rather, is it these big companies like Visa and MasterCard? But what do you think? Should Steam have stood its ground and said, no, we are not removing this content? Should it have even been on Steam in the first place? Let me know down below. And for more deep dives into gaming's biggest issues, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I hope all of you have an amazing and wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.